back to my channel. So today is a really exciting video because I've had a lot of people ask me questions about this. I know that it is very, I don't want to say popular right now, but it's catching a lot of people's eyes right now, should I say. A lot of people seem to be getting more and more interested in this. So I wanted to break it down for you. This is something that I believe in a lot. I do myself. And I feel like there's so much information about this on platforms like TikTok especially. And I feel like sometimes it can be really difficult to just strip it down and look straight at the basics because there's so much information going back and forth. And I'm not going to lie, there's a lot of bad information on TikTok. Like, it's kind of presenting itself in a relatively unhealthy way. So I am going to save that for a separate video talking about sort of like the things which you should be careful of or the things that you should avoid. But today I'm literally just gonna strip it down and we're gonna talk about the basics of manifesting. So I'm gonna structure this video so it's got 3 different sections to kind of just lay it out very clearly for you guys. The first part is gonna be what it is and how it works, just so you've got a better understanding of it. The second is gonna be a step-by-step. It's like a 3-step process, which I personally feel like are the most key points that you want to kind of hit if you want to simplify it as much as possible. And finally, just a couple of general tips to sort of help you out. So here we go. I hope you enjoy. Okay, so what is manifesting? Firstly, I'm just going to go off the bat. I'm not a specialist in any of this. I've just sort of picked up things over time from reading specific books about it, watching documentaries, doing more of my own research into it, stuff like The Secret, and different people that have sort of spoken about this for years and years and years. I've sort of listened to what they had to say and I've sort of gathered all the information that I've got, picked up tips here and there, and I've put it all together, and that's basically what I'm going to be explaining to you. I don't have any sort of qualification or anything like that to say that I am, that I know exactly what I'm talking about. This is just my personal interpretation of manifestation and how I personally like to do it and what I've gathered from loads of different sources that I've looked at. So I just want to put that out there. Okay, so in my mind, manifesting is a spiritual process where you can essentially create the life that you want by training your mind in a certain way. So you can be in control of what you invite into your life, whether that's a blessing or whether it's something a lot less desirable, if it's something negative in your life. It's a process where you are intentionally or unintentionally bringing certain things into your life, whether it's vibes, people, concepts, opportunities, materialistic like objects, like attainable objects that you can quantify, anything. You are inviting that into your life, whether you realize it or not. It's an ongoing process. So you do it all the time, whether it's conscious or not. Like, I'm doing it right now, you're doing it right now, because it's based on the fact that your thoughts become things. So obviously that's within reason. It's not like everything you think will suddenly appear. The way that you think affects your physical reality. So the process of manifesting, in my mind, in the healthy way, is to sort of train your mind to think in a healthy form, in a healthy sort of routine, so that then you're going to invite more healthy, positive things into your life. If you're thinking positively, if you're thinking successfully, then it's going to invite more of that into your life, because whatever you think, you invite more of. So by naturally thinking more positively, you're gonna unintentionally end up actually inviting blessings and positive things into your life, and it's going to become less of a conscious thing. So there are forms of manifestation where you kind of like do a sit down thing, and it's a process which I'm going to talk to you about in a minute. But it never stops. So it's not like once you finish doing your manifestation, it's finished and it's done. It's ongoing. So it's the way that your mind is always working. So you need to find a way to train your mind to think in a way that you're constantly going to be putting out the right energy to accept and receive all of the positive things that you want to get out of your life. So that way you're going to be attracting it, like, without even intentionally trying to, because it becomes a habit in your mind. So a principle which you kind of need to sort of just get your head around is whatever you feel, whatever you think, you attract. So for example, if you're feeling genuinely really happy in your current situation, in your current life, in your present moment, if you're feeling really happy, you are putting out a particular energy into the universe. So the way that this all works is that the universe is made up of energies. That's it. Everything is made up of energies. So when you're feeling happy, you're feeling positive, you are emitting a particular energy. You're releasing a positive, a good energy out into the universe. So when you put that energy out there, that's exactly what comes back to you. In a way, you can kind of think of it as a similar concept to karma. In my mind, I think of it as similar, like what you put out, you get back, right? So in the same way, what you feel, and you're putting that out, when you're feeling it, you're releasing it. You're do you know what I mean? Like, I'm very visual. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, I'm picture like the glow around you, like you're putting out that positive vibe. So unintentionally, you are actually inviting more positive things back into your life because you're putting that energy out there. But in the same way, it works on the flip side. So if you're feeling really, really, really down and bad, and if you just are always in a negative mindset, you will notice that you will continue to be in a negative mindset because you are putting out a negative energy. So you're only going to welcome back a negative energy. So essentially, you need to switch that up. And it's difficult, but that's what comes with having control over your mind. When you control your mind, you're able to control your energy. And when you can control your energy, you can kind of control, to an extent, your fate in terms of your positivity or negativity that comes into your life, in terms of, like I said, events, materialistic things, concepts, opportunities, whatever it is. So I personally think that the first thing you should try to do is train your mind to be in a healthier mindset, a healthier place. And that way you're going to naturally attract more positive things into your physical reality. Okay, next section. Now I'm going to go into the step-by-step. So step one is you want to think about what you want. It's harder than you realise. You'd think that everyone wants the same things. You actually don't. Sometimes you think you know what you want, and then when you get down to actually trying to write it down and make a list of it, you're like, what do I actually want though? Like, it's a lot harder than you realise. So you can't get what you want out of life or out of your life or from the universe or from whatever you believe is the higher energies, the higher spirits. You can't get that if you don't know what it is you want, right? That's simple enough. It makes sense. The first thing you want to do is simply write a list of what you want in life. You can literally, like, the sky is your limit. Even the sky isn't a limit, man. Like, anything, even the things that you think, oh, there's no way I could get that. Write it down. If you want it, write it. It can, again, like I said, it can be materialistic things. It can be anything. It can genuinely be anything. This is where you want to be careful with what you ask for, though, because you want to make sure that you're asking for the right kind of things, essentially. So it can be feelings, it can be objects, it can be experiences, it can be opportunities, it can be anything from, I want my business to blow up and sell this many units in this amount of time, or it can be, I want to have this much money in my bank account. It can be, I want to be in a healthy relationship. It can be literally anything. Okay, step 2. Now, this is the bit which is a little bit tricky. This is probably the hardest bit. So, you need to visualize it. You need to close your eyes, not necessarily close your eyes, but in my mind it helps to visualize when your eyes are closed. So close your eyes and visualize you having it. Like, you need to physically imagine that you have it already. So you can feel kind of silly doing this at first because you're like, but why am I like lying? Like, I'm acting like I have it and I don't have it. So you genuinely need to just almost like act it out. You need to just adopt that. Because what it is your mind can't tell the difference of when you are tricking it into thinking something, when you're playing it in your head, when you're imagining, or when you're actually experiencing it in real life. So then you're creating the energy that you need to attract it into your life because you're already putting it out there. Does that make sense? Let's say you really want like your dream house or something, yeah? So if you believe that you've already got the dream house, like, oh my God, I got it, I signed the papers today, it's mine, I've got the keys in my hand, like, you need to go through it, like, as detailed as you can, because that's how it would be in real life, right? Every little detail, every specific, if you can, do your best to feel it and visualize it, see it, experience it, which is why sometimes stuff like creating mood boards can help, because if you struggle with visualizing it, if you get pictures that show it, and then you have kind of like a collage of pictures of all the things you want, it's easier to create that feeling in your head. If you can sort of see it in front of you, it's easier to visualize it. So that can be a little trick to sort of help you out with that step, because it can be hard to grasp, and I think you need to stick with it, because at first you can feel stupid, you can be like, I don't feel like I have it, how am I supposed to feel like I have it when I don't have it? Like, obviously then I wouldn't need it, like. But I'm telling you, it's actually possible, and you will realise that they'll get to a place where you are convincing yourself that you already have it. It's actually mad trippy. Like, you can genuinely convince yourself that you've got it, and that's the trick. That's when you know you're doing it successfully. Because you've kind of like tricked your brain, and that's literally the key to it. It's all about your mind. It's all in your mind, and you can create whatever you want with your mind. So it's hard. That bit is hard, but once you got it, you are sorted. Okay, and finally, step 3 is you want to thank the universe for that thing that you want. So gratitude is a massive aspect of this. So you want to literally thank, I'm saying the universe, right? But that doesn't necessarily mean you think of it as the universe. This is like down to interpretation. It's not like, this is like, it's spiritual, do you know what I mean? So everyone's experience with spirituality is going to be different. So when I say the universe, think of just the higher energy, whatever it is that you believe in. If you believe in any kind of energy or force in the world, that's what I'm referring to. So you want to thank that energy, that force, the universe, God, whatever you believe. Like, you want to give thanks and pretend like you've already been given it. So like, thank you so much for my new house. It is beautiful. It's everything I've ever wanted, and I'm so appreciative for you for giving this to me, for blessing me with this, like along those lines, right? Because how it works is when you express gratitude, it's like you are appreciating it, so you get more of it in return, because again, you're putting out a positive, grateful energy, so you're going to get more in return. Make sense? Okay, now general tips. So this kind of links in with the last point that I touched on. Gratitude. Gratitude is a massive part of this. It's very underrated. It can make a huge difference. So you want to find a way to exercise as much gratitude as you can in your daily life, in your current place. So when you're specifically manifesting something, yeah, you need to be grateful for the thing that you want that you've not got yet. But you also need to exercise genuine gratitude for your current state, your current life, what you have. So a good way to sort of get into the habit of allowing your mind to just generally be more grateful for things is to start getting into a habit of writing 5 things every day that you're grateful for that day. It could be literally anything, like whatever kind of affected your life that day. It could be a random thing, but it gets your mind sort of thinking about the blessings that you already have in your life. And regardless, just take away the whole aspect of manifesting. In general, getting into the habit of feeling gratitude for things, especially in my mind, especially through the pandemic and everything that's going on in the world that we're experiencing right now. Like, we have so much to be grateful for. There are so many things that you can be grateful for now that you wouldn't necessarily have thought to be grateful for, like, before this whole disaster started, right? So it's a positive trait to just genuinely take on, regardless of whether you're trying to create something for your life or not. To be grateful is such a beautiful trait and quality. So in general, I think it's really nice and important to just start appreciating and being grateful for the things that you've got in your life already, and it's going to help you if you're trying to manifest as well. So the next one is to be present. It can be difficult sometimes, I feel like, especially in the world that we live in. It's very difficult to be present now and actually live in the moment, because we've got so many distractions, there's so much going on, our mind can wander, and a lot of the time it really takes us away from where we are right now, what we're doing right now, where our focus should be right now, where our attention should be, regardless of what it is you're doing or who you're with. You should be living in that moment. And when you're doing that, you can find more happiness in your present life, in your current state, in whatever you're experiencing now. It's easier to find that place of happiness within yourself. When you've got that, you are emitting, again, more happiness. You're feeling happy and you're going to attract that. So generally being present and just sort of going along with life, as simple as it sounds, is actually difficult. But once you do that, it kind of assists with this whole process as well. Okay, the next one, this is so important. When you manifest, you need to be in the right headspace. So when you're actively doing it, you need to make sure that you are in the right mindset, you're in the right mood. Like, come on, like I'm saying all of this, but we all have bad moods, we all experience sadness, we all experience lows, and that's normal and that's fine. Like, let yourself feel it. I'm not saying force it, be happy all the time. Like, don't let it stress you out. Allow yourself to feel it. But you're slowly training your mind. It's gonna take time, it's a process, but be easy on yourself, right? Like, don't go too extreme with it and be like, oh my god, this thing annoyed me and now it's ruined everything because now I've put out negative vibes. Like, it's not like that. You just want to try as much as you can to just generally just improve your energy, improve your mood, improve your overall vibe. So when you allow it to become a chore, right, this is where you're going to go wrong, because a lot of the time you put so much importance on it, like, oh my god, yes, I want this, I want this, I want this. So then you're like, I need to, whether you decide to write it down, whether you decide to say it, like, the form that you do it in doesn't necessarily matter in my mind. It's the energy and the place that you're in within yourself when you do it. If you feel like it's a chore, you are actually having an opposite effect. You're moving it further away because you've put like a damp sort of energy on it. And let's be real, this whole thing is about energy. It's all about your vibration. So if you're not in the best state when you're doing it, you're not really going to be helping yourself. Like, if you think about it logically, like, it makes sense, right? And what goes along with that is also, when you have desperation, you move it away from yourself. So yeah, it's great really wanting something, but you can't feel like you are dependent on it and that you need it. You need to have faith that you've already got it, that it's already yours. And that's difficult, but once you get into a place where you're not second guessing how it's coming, when it's coming, in what way it's coming, that's something that I think a lot of people struggle with. It's like, let's say you've asked for something and you're like, well, when am I getting it? When am I getting it? If you keep doing that, you're pushing it further away because you don't have the faith and the trust that it's coming, and then you're not believing that it's already yours. So then it ends up not happening for you. Like, you do yourself dirty that way. So it's difficult. Like I said, none of this is easy, but once you nail the thought process, it is insane in the best way. So make sure that you try your best to, yes, want them things, ask for them things, but then once you've done that, let it go, surrender it, kind of like let go of the control that you feel you need to have over getting that. Try to let go of the control, hand it over and just be like, you know what, it's coming, I know it's coming, so it's cool, and I'm going to continue living my life, being happy, being positive, doing what I'm going to do, living in my present moment, being grateful for everything I have. And when you adopt that overall mentality, that whole mindset, just watch everything start to come back to you. Okay, so that is the end of this video. I hope that you enjoyed it. I know that it was very different, and I wouldn't normally have sort of talked about spirituality and that kind of thing on here, because in my mind it's a very personal thing. But a lot of people are asking about it, and a lot of people seem to be very interested in it right now. And I feel like there's a lot of inaccurate information just floating around the internet on this topic. So I wanted to just sort of explain my side of it, and hopefully it will bring some kind of positivity or good vibe or inspiration or whatever to you guys. I would also really recommend that you watch or read The Secret. So it is on Netflix at the moment. It's the documentary. There's a film and also the documentary on Netflix, so make sure it's the documentary and not the film. And it kind of explains it in some more detail. So this all ties in with Law of Attraction as well, but I can do a more in-depth video with Law of Attraction, but they go hand in hand, they kind of overlap. It's difficult to, they're joint basically. And The Secret explains a lot of things that I've just spoken about, and yeah, it's a great thing to watch or to read if you want to read the book. So I would definitely recommend doing that. If you are into it, if you want to get more into it, definitely read that book, watch that documentary. It is incredible, and personally it changed my life, so I would recommend it to anyone. But anyway, I'm going to stop talking now. I hope that you enjoyed this one. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. I love you guys so much. Stay positive, stay safe, stay smiling. I love you, and I will see you next time. Mwah. Bye guys.